All right, good afternoon, everybody. Um, Doug is joining us from this warm, sunny beach of Punta Cana. So if he breaks up a little bit, just bear with us. We wanted to get this podcast going this week, especially with a lot of events going on. The Donovan event, and there's a lot of good basketball teams seem to be getting out of the COVID protocol, and more games are happening, which is good to see. Doug, so how's your vacation so far?
Not bad, Nick. It's about 90 degrees and sunny, a little breeze off the ocean. Yeah, no complaints.
That's great. First, we're going to start off. We're going to talk about the Donovan event run by Coach Jansen over there at Donovan Catholic. It's for coaches and cancer. All the money proceeds go to obviously cancer, and it's a great cause. I can't wait to get there for the event. Last year, the event was canceled, unfortunately, because of COVID, but he was still able to raise around $2,000. He said 15 teams stepped up, sold T-shirts, out of the teams that were supposed to, be in the event. The goal, hopefully, with the games and selling T-shirts is to double that this year. Some of the teams in it, the first two teams he told me that signed, agreed right away, which, it doesn't shock me. Obviously, RBR, JT always gets involved with these events. Darren up at Homedale, just because the cause, it's a cause that means a lot to him. Manchester, he wanted in there because that's where he grew up. Ewing, he wanted in there because that's where his mother, who passed away from cancer in 2018, Cecilia, which is why he runs this event. Colts Neck's in there. He wanted them involved because that's where he started coaching, and that's he teaches. And he wanted St. Rose in there because of the Steve Gep connection, and the AD at Donovan. He coached at Donovan, so it should be a great event. We'll go through the matchups tomorrow. I just want to pull it up.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know the first game is Jackson Memorial over Shore Regional. Pretty good test for both those teams. Jackson, the only real test they had so far was Mainland. Shore's played Homedale, they played Trinity Hall, they played RBC, so they've been tested. Both teams could use a big, a big win there. That would send a statement to the Shore that they're going to be contenders. Oh, where's the match?
Yeah, and I think Jackson probably needs this game more than because Jackson hasn't been challenged in the short, like you said, the short conference.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, hey, I'm trying to find the. Oh, there you are.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Actually, the connection's even better now, though.
Is it? All right, good. It's even better.
Yeah, there's no delay now. That's great.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
Second game is Middletown North versus Notre Dame. Obviously, outside the Shore, I'm not going to know a lot about you.
Right.
Um, I know they graduated Erica Porter, who went on to Illinois 2 years
Illinois. Yeah.
ago. Um, I think they are up and coming. I think they have a couple of decent players at Notre Dame, but like I said, I can't tell you anything about Notre Dame. Um, Middletown North, they're well coached. They play very strong defense. Probably lack a little consistency on the offensive end.
Mm-hmm.
Second game, Colts Neck versus Allentown. We saw Colts Neck at the WOBM against RB. I think was it the RBC game?
Yeah.
It wasn't. Gibson was out that game.
Yes.
She is back. Averaging double figures. And I'm assuming we'll see a big improvement at a Colts Neck, with Coach Russo there, as the season goes on. So it'd be nice to see them, see how the progress they made over the last couple of weeks as well. But
And Allentown's usually a pretty competitive team,
mhm.
also. So that should be a pretty good game.
The game after that, Manchester Wildwood Catholic. Um, nice Iowa Catholic, long drive for them, but it'd be good
Yeah.
to see them. They got a couple decent players I know. Manchester, with Bray and Quigley, um, should be a good matchup.
Hope.
I would think Manchester would be able to, win that game though.
Yeah, Manchester, the big three, as we call them. They've scored 90% of their points in the last two games, and we said they could be dangerous if they continue that. But if one of them stumbles or one of them gets in foul trouble, it could be a different story.
Yeah. After that game is Holmdel Ewing. Ewing, one of those teams we were supposed to be able to see at WOBM, but did you get to see them or they were already out?
Yeah, I
I
saw
left
them in
that
the
day.
first round. Yeah, I
Okay.
saw them in the first round. Very, very athletic team. They can score. Very, very long and athletic. Holmdel's pretty long and athletic as well, so it
Yes.
should be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. I want to talk a little about the Holmdel RBC game a little later on too. Next match, Donovan Catholic versus Pope John. Um, and Pope. Fortunately, I don't know much about Pope John, but Donovan Catholic is firing on all cylinders right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby had a big game yesterday. I think she had 25, led the team, but they are balanced attack. The past 2 weeks, they're and Mackenzie contributed yesterday. Had good game. Kai Joseph
Yeah,
just doing her usual 10 and 10. Um, and Olivia doing what she usually does. Close to that 10 and 10 range every game. So, yeah, they're starting to fight. If they keep playing like that, who knows? That Madison game might be a little bit different. As long as they don't get into their
yeah.
heads. If Madison gets out to that lead, if they could stick to the ball movement, it won't be the outcome that happened in WOBM, I think.
I would hope not. Yeah,
And the last match, unfortunately, I'll probably be at work by the time this starts. St. Rose Red Bank Regional. I think I got to see St. Rose play yesterday for the first time this season. Red Bank Regional, up and down season so far. Unsure when the player is going to be eligible to play. The transfer. Um, but
are they back in school yet?
yes,
Okay.
they are back. They played 2 days ago. I think they're playing. I think
Yeah,
they got a
yeah, I
game
saw
today.
that. Okay.
So and JT will have that team ready. As the season goes on. So it looks like a great event. Can we go? Support the cause. Always love going to those type of events. I know Ocean Township usually runs an event like that. Something similar. I mean, it's not as big as that, but they usually have an event where the boys and the girls play the same day, and all the proceeds go to cancer. So should be a good day.
Yeah. And cancer is something that's touched somebody in some way, I'm sure. So if you can't be there, buy a T-shirt. If you can't buy
Yes.
a T-shirt, spread the word. But do something to help Coach Jansen and his cause out, because everybody's affected by cancer in one way or another.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure we got the link in the YouTube, one of the YouTube things posted for the shirt as well, and me and Doug have both posted it on our Twitter accounts too. Um, so I know you've been away. A couple games that I've streamed a bunch of games this week. I went to only one game in one quarter of another game. First, since it's fresh in my head, St. Rose versus Ocean. Um, Ocean took them to the limit.
Yeah,
Ocean they didn't back down. Ocean was up 12 in the third quarter. Maggie Kavanaugh had a big third quarter to bring the lead to three at the end of the third. Maggie had a very good first quarter, scoring wise. Maggie does what Maggie does all the time on defense. With the rebounds and stuff. But she had a very good offensive, scoring the ball the first quarter. Third quarter, Rosie had a very good second quarter, scoring the ball. Um, and with her and Maggie, they just were able to take over. Ocean got into some foul trouble. Um, you know, when the older Clark sister got four fouls, their center had four fouls, so it did affect half the third and the start of the fourth a little bit. Going to the bench, and they're not deep. The one thing with St. Rose, they the whole freshman syndrome. Freshmen got a couple of the freshmen had some open looks and they didn't take it. They passed it up. And I know early in the season still they just got back from COVID protocol, so they're just starting to get into some kind of rhythm. But they need to put those shots up when they're open. I don't Rosie and Maggie, the team leaders. You know, I don't think they'll yell at them for taking a shot. You just put the ball. You're wide open. Take the open shot.
Yeah.
You know.
And they need to be careful because they get behind that big in a game, and they've pulled a couple out coming from behind so far this year. They get behind to the wrong team, they might not be able to come back. So they're going to have to start stronger. And like you said, the freshmen are going to have to step up and start taking the shots. Make or miss, you got to learn. You got to take the shot. So, they need a stronger start in some of these games.
Yeah, and I could tell by the way Mary Beth was subbing. She's still trying to figure out the right especially with with the freshmen. But Rosie and Maggie, they could shoot.
Yeah.
When you got two girls that could shoot like that from the outside, especially Rosie has such a nice shot. They could be dangerous, and they both could go to the hoop. Rosie had you saw it last year against Manchester. Drive to the hoop and that little floater over Destiny. She hit it, a couple times, and Maggie's so aggressive she could get to the hoop too. But yeah,
and a great defender. So,
yes, yeah. So,
yeah,
that was my only thing with St. Rose. I know they're still trying to figure out a lot of freshmen on that team, and I'm sure by the end of the season they'll be a different team than what we saw. What we've seen so far, and once they get the rotation set down, they should be fun to watch, and definitely over next season, I definitely expect them to be a force to be reckoned with next season.
should be a good matchup with RBR tomorrow also. So
Yeah, because RBR size, because they did struggle with Ocean Center. She was able first half. She had a strong first half, and which helped get Ocean, to lead in the second quarter and the third quarter. So the next game I want to talk about is I wasn't there. I streamed it while it was going on. Homedale RBC. Homedale got out to a nice lead in the second quarter. Martini had a great first half. Hitting outside. Her and Ferguson were able. They had no problem getting to the basket, which is something RBC is going to need to. They're going to need to fix that. Come postseason. The one thing I thought they did once they had the lead, they were making that one too many extra passes, and then all of a sudden RBC started chipping away. Justine, was starting to take over, and they had that 10-point lead. I guess I don't know. They just on the court. It looked like to me just watching they started playing a little bit safe. They made that extra pass that either got turned over or the person had a better shot that made the pass. So that was the only thing. They gave RBC all they can handle. Homedale proved that they are going to be able to hang. With them and probably Manasquan.
And I believe that's the Tessa had 16 points, correct?
Yes.
So she stepped up when they were down. So what Justine's going to give you. You're going to get your points out of Justine, but if Tessa can keep stepping up, and Liggio, I know she had a big game this week, also. So yeah, Homedale proved to me when they play Toms River North that they can be with anybody. I'm not sure they can beat anybody, the top three teams, but they can hang and they'll be there at the end.
Yeah. So I'm just pulling up. One thing with RBC, they need to get Allie going more on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Her point totals are very low. So they need who could stop her. And we said that at the beginning of the season.
And I watched some of that game also, and it just her body language doesn't look like she's into the game, and I think it's probably because she goes long stretches without touching the ball on offense.
Uh-huh.
She might just, you know, I wouldn't say get bored because you don't get bored, but it looks like she's getting a little frustrated, not getting uh, some look offense.
Yeah, and with such a weapon like that, you know, you would think you would want to feed her more. Um, I watched some of the Wall Manasquan game. Not much to talk about there. It was a very ugly game. Manasquan just blew them out.
No.
And I think Manasquan was coming off a loss. I think they had they had the tough game against Mainland, and then they lost the
Yeah.
next day. And I think Lisa sent a statement. We'll be all right with that game.
Yeah, and Wall's had a good season so far. Unfortunately, like you said, they ran into Manasquan after a loss,
Yeah,
and also it was their first chance to prove
yeah.
what they could do against the top part of the shore conference.
Hmm.
And I think the score at one point was 32-4, if I'm
Yeah,
not
I,
mistaken.
I think you were right. I think that's
So
when I
I
turned it
don't.
off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they came out a little scared or maybe a little intimidated, but they're a good team. I mean, come out confident, play with confidence, and maybe it'll be different the second time they play.
Yeah. Another game I streamed last night, 3:30 in the morning, was Brick and Pinelands. You know, hard game to watch. A lot of turnovers. Pinelands does they force the ball into Bridget's hands. Get the ball to her in awkward spots. But Bridget is. I wish we could see her on a better team because she could score. She could shoot. She could get to the hoop. She dropped 41 earlier this week. She had 18, but she got a little foul trouble in the third, so she didn't play a lot of the third. It was an awful call. And then the fourth, it looked like she fell and it looked like she was a little sore, so she came out for a little bit in the fourth. But um, the Brick was up 31-19 no 31-14 at half, and the final score was 38-34. So they
Yeah.
slowed it down. I talked to Kevin, and he said he regrets that he did that. He wished they kept attacking more.
Mm,
But they're a young team too.
yeah.
But that Riley, the freshman, um, she is going to be a name everyone knows. She had a very big week. She had a big game against Manchester this week. Followed up with I mean it's Lakewood, so she expect good players to have good games against Lakewood, and then I don't know the point total because they didn't input the stats last night yet. The Brick coach still said they will get them in today, but she had a lot of the points in the first half. I wasn't keeping track of her stats, but
Mm,
with her, and then they got the shooter Claire. They're going to be a fun tandem the next couple of years. So watch out for Brick. Um, oh,
two things
yeah,
to take out of that. Uh, two things to take out of that. One, you said there was a bad call. I'm shocked.
yeah,
And number two, when teams know that Bridget's is their only threat,
yeah,
and to still put 41 points on the board is pretty incredible.
yeah, yeah. She finished with 18 last night, but she didn't. She probably only played half the second half. Um, but just watching her form, her shot, she's a nice player. She's fun to watch. The other game I watched, I forgot, Middletown South and Howell, and
Ooh,
I was
yeah.
really shocked. Last week I said Howell might by the end of the year might be cracking the top 10, and they just got blown out of the building.
Middletown South put the clamps on them.
Their
14.
defense, and that's what exactly it was. It was their defense. I think it froze for a second. Are you back? You froze for a second.
Yeah, sorry.
Um, so yeah, Middletown South is they're the cream of the crop right now in that division.
Mhm.
Um, so before we get into our players of the week, a little trivia. Um, four players that are starting off this season really good on the offensive end: Drejos, Ari, Julia down at Toms River North, who I told her, was talking to a couple of their players. She was on fire. Um,
Hmm.
one of the games, I think she had 6 threes in one game this week. And Alexandria up in Homedale, common factor.
Wait, you don't want to pronounce the last name?
No, no, don't want to try. I tried that
Still,
last week. I tried that
still.
last week.
All right, let's see. Common factor between those four.
Uh-huh.
Um, I believe all four of them play for JT
Yep.
in AAU.
Yep. They all played for JT Bell's team this past summer, and a lot of people are commenting, the confidence level of some of these players after coming out of the program this summer, and I mean they're backing it up. You know, Ari's leading the show in scoring. Drejos is right behind her. Um, Julia's moving up every game. And Alexandra. Probably won't be in the top 10 because there's so much talent around her, but she's up on that list. She's consistently double figures, which is when you got a talented team like Homedale, that's what you rather see a consistency than one player leading the way. So uh, you know, great job by JT. Getting these players ready for the high school season
Yeah,
over the summer, and everybody knows what great.
always has them ready.
All right, let's do our players of the week. Uh, Hang on, how do I do this? Share. Uh, Hang on. I gotta switch something first because I'm on a different screen. All right, so here we go. We had a lot of common players this week. Only one division we went different, and that we talked about that division. Really could have went three different ways. That division. We'll get to that division, but I'll if you want, I'll let you lead the way. A North.
A North, I believe we both went with Danny Schlesinger from Marlboro.
Yeah.
16 points, 15 rebounds against Howell, and 19 against Morris Catholic, which is was a
Good.
preseason top 20 team. So
Yeah.
great week for her.
Yeah, and it looked like Morris Cat. I know they lost that game, but that's a quality loss. The Marlboro team early in the season. I think we're going to see them get better as the season gets
Yeah,
along. It's a little different strategy too, because the past couple of years they went 15 deep on the court. And now
they
they're
were
all
doing hockey line changes.
yes, yes, and
Yeah,
now they're only doing 6, maybe 7. So,
yeah.
so it's probably a little bit of adjustment period there, but
Hmm.
with Danny and Erica, I think they'll be fine the long term.
Yeah.
Um, A South, the only division we picked somebody different. I'll let you go first.
I went with Zoe Mayfie from Jackson Memorial. She had a great week. 22-9 against Colts Neck, and then 22-9 against Central. She followed up with the same numbers. Great week, and then 16 against Brick Memorial. So I know she's having a great season so far, and she was one of our players in the division we said to look for. But yeah, she's really playing well for Jackson.
Yeah, she is, and and Amber's, still doing, contributing too. So I'm looking forward to finally seeing them tomorrow morning. So I went with Lizzie Gilland. Um, she had a pretty good week herself. 33 points one game, followed up with 16 points, I believe, another game, and I think she had a 20 point. I don't have the stats right in front of me right now, but Tom's River East started off slow this season, and now they got a little winning streak, and a large part is Lizzie has stepped it up on the offensive end. Multi-sport athlete going D1. James Madison for soccer. Probably could have played any sport she wanted to in college. Um, we could do an honorable mention. Julia uh,
Oh yeah,
Grinczewski.
yeah,
Another great week. She had 6 threes one game.
yeah.
She's been averaging double figures. She's been the constant on the offensive end for Toms River North, and great to see her. Just keeping it up in the consistency level throughout the season.
Yep, absolutely.
Um, All right, A Central. I know you got the stats for Justine.
Yeah. First of all, our player of the week is Justine Cassatt from RBC. Congratulations to Justine on scoring her 1,000th point last night.
Yes.
Um, 18 against Abington, PA, and I think Abington, PA is a very highly rated team in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Um, then she followed it up with 21 against Homedale and 28 against RFH. So three big games for RBC this week, and she steps up like she usually does with a
Mhm.
big week.
Yeah, she big game against Homedale, big game against Rumson. Um, she's it seems like a little more freedom this season with the ball,
Yeah,
which is what we talked about early in the season. So um, if she's on, hopefully, what happened last year with the St. John Vianney blowouts, hopefully we see something different. So so hopefully Justine, keeps it up. I'm so sorry about that. B North, we both went with Caroline Holloway. I know they only played one game.
yeah. It's hard to pick a division when a lot of teams
Yeah,
only played one
that
game.
that was the division that didn't have a lot of action this week.
Yeah, it's usually B Central, and this time it was B North. So
Yep.
yeah,
So I did what she had 14 and 14 that game, right?
against Borough, yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
that's good because we saw her early in the season at the OBM Christmas Classic, and she looked a little timid, maybe not comfortable yet in the offense, but if she starts putting up double doubles, watch out.
yes. So B South, we both went with Bridget Dudas. She had the 41 point game, 18 last night. Um, she could flat out score. Wish she had some pieces that help her. Um, but another at
She,
multi-sport athlete.
she also put up 16 against Donovan, which
Okay,
is
yeah.
a good stat line against a good team.
Yes, yes. Because Donovan, with Olivia and Gabby's, always up there stealing the ball. He put 16, especially when you're playing a team like Donovan and you are the only, threat. That is an impressive stat line. Uh,
Yeah,
B,
absolutely.
B Central, uh, we both went with Sarah Hughes, big game winner against Rumson. Very consistent this week. I don't know what she finished with yesterday because Rainey didn't put the stats in, but I know it was double digits. She opened up the game with a three in the corner. Um, I
Who did they
always
play
said
yesterday? They played Keyport
Modern Day.
yesterday.
No, they played
Oh,
Modern
Modern Day.
Day.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah.
game
Okay.
I was at for 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It was 27-5 when I left. Um,
Yeah.
but I always when I do my player interviews, I always ask what is the biggest thing from your sophomore to junior year? Because that's where I always see the biggest jump, whether it's soccer or basketball. And Sarah right now has looked like she's made that jump from sophomore year to junior year, where she's on another level this year. And um, good for her. Got to speak to her mom a little bit yesterday before the game started. Great family. So hopefully she continues to set success. And they got other weapons there, so Rainey's could be dangerous.
It's good to actually see them play more than one game in 2 weeks span too. Get a couple
Yes,
games in 1 week, and they're proving what everybody said that they're going to be a strong team.
yeah, and I think they got Saddle River. I think maybe tomorrow. I'm not
It's
sure,
going to be a
but
very
I,
good
I know
game.
I know they got Saddle River coming up soon. So I don't. I doubt they beat Saddle River, but if they could have a strong showing, they'll really state, hey, we're going to be trouble. Um, so and last we both went with Ari, who is having an unreal season offensively. Um, we said before the season she was going to need to be the brunt of the offense when because Chelsea was out with the ACL, and she has proven she could do that.
Yeah, I'd say
I mean,
28 against Pinelands, 28 against Point Borough, and leading the shore in scoring. So um, no easy feat with all the fantastic basketball players we have in the shore.
yes, and um, looking at Liberty's stats, it looks like they don't have a win, um, but it looks like other players are playing a little bit better as the
Mhm.
season's going on because even the point barrel box score, there was some games where you pretty much saw Ari and like maybe one other player, and now you're starting to see a few other names pop up, scoring. But good for Ari. She's a great kid. Um, good family, and I would, that JT magic rubbed off,
Yeah,
and um, and she's just, you know, I didn't get to watch her let you COVID last year, but sort of freshman year, she doesn't come out. Like she won't. Like
no,
she could be exhausted. She will fight until that buzzer ends, and always great when I see kids like that. Um, so our Broad Street Dough Company Player of the Week. Congratulations, Sarah Hughes. She had a great week. Game winner against Rumson on the road. Really stepping it up this season with a team of sophomores and freshmen. She's the junior, being the leader of this team. So Sarah, congratulations for being the Broad Street Dough Company Player of the Week, and everyone make sure
congratulations.
everyone go see Des. I was there yesterday. I saw her. I gotta get out of there usually when I get in there
Uh,
because the
the
smell is.
smell, the smell is unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah, please support Des. She's a big fan. I know she's a big fan of our podcast, and she's just a big fan of girl sports overall. She does whatever she could do to help the girls get recognition. So, thank you, Des, and congratulations,
For
Sarah. And I will get you your gift card at some point early next week because I picked up a few, so I don't have to keep going up to Oakhurst. Um,
picked up a few donuts or a few gift
uh,
cards.
few gift cards. I stayed
Both.
away from donuts. I stayed away from the donuts. All right, let's go to our top 10. Only a few little changes. Not really much change this week, but
At the bottom, of course.
yeah, at the bottom, which is what's going to rotate pretty much the whole season. All right, I'll let you go first.
All right. St. John Vianney, number one. At one game this week, 82-18 over Colts Neck. RBC with the three big wins we discussed at number two. Manasquan had three big games this week, defeating Mainland. I think they were behind most of the game. They came back and won that game, then lost to a good Georgetown visitation team from DC in a close game, and then, as we talked about, beat Wall pretty good. St. Rose stays number four. A loss to Immaculate Heart Academy, but that's not a bad loss.
No.
And then came back and beat Monmouth and Ocean. Donovan Catholic remains at number five. One game this week against Pinelands. Homedale with two nice wins over Shore and RBC, and lost RBC. Sorry, a win and a loss. Jackson Memorial stays at number seven. A win over Colts Neck and a win over Central. Middletown South number eight. One win over Howell. Ranny enters the top 10 this week with the three games we discussed earlier. And Neptune at number 10 with one game, a win over Middletown North.
All right, my first seven stay the same as well. St. John Vianney, RBC, Squan, Donovan, St. Rose. Squan, St. Rose next week. I think the 18th. So you could bet your butt I'll be there. Two of my favorite teams. Two of my teams I have a bias for. So I will be there. See how St. Rose matches up with the upper echelon with their youngsters. Homedale stays the same. I know they lost to RBC, but it was a competitive game. It was a fun game to watch. Not going to ding them. Jackson stays the same. Looking forward to that Toms River North matchup. That's what we're waiting for with Jackson. Uh, Neptunes, I have the same spot. Didn't really do anything. Middletown South, I moved up one. Dominant win against Howell, who I was high on last week, and I moved Rainey in. Nice win at Rumson, and doing what they're supposed to do against their division. So I could see Rainey, keep moving up that, you know, at the echelon, moving up
Yeah,
the ranks
up
as
the
the season
ladder.
as they get on,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna think we're probably gonna start seeing Trinity Hall, move up. Their start, um, everyone's back, and once they get rolling, now, um, Rumson, they have to figure it out. You know,
Yeah,
I thought Rainey would be the game that get a win back, but you know they they need to figure out. What did we have them like fifth or sixth to start the season? Think we had
yeah,
them.
preseason. Yeah.
I think we had them around there.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's probably it.
Well, one more thing, or two more
Yeah,
things. One, the game that St. John Vianney had
last week
canceled last week against Dunmore, PA.
is
They're actually playing tomorrow. So he
yes.
rescheduled that for tomorrow. Should be a fantastic game. Dunmore's number 2 in PA, SGV number 1 in New Jersey. So that should be a great game. And also, we want to congratulate the 5 McDonald's All-American nominees
Oh
from the
yeah.
short conference that were named this week. Just Justine Passat and Allie Carmen from RBC, Gia Passat from Tom's River North, Mary Donnelly from Manasquan, and Madison St. Rose from St. John Vianney. So congratulations to you girls. It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, well deserved, and maybe the Shore will have a couple girls actually in the game. This, you
But we
know,
would have had one last year if the game wasn't canceled. So
yeah, Destiny, right? Destiny would have been in it. Yeah,
yes, yep.
yeah. So when was the last time a Shore player was it the middle was the middle Mayberry?
Mabry's?
The middle
Yeah, I
one?
believe
Daria
Marina
didn't get nominated.
Mabry.
Daria
No,
didn't
no,
even
it
get.
was crazy,
Yeah,
crazy.
I spoke to somebody about the list a couple days ago, and he said he gave up on the list once Daria did not get
Once
nominated.
Daria, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with
Daria.
that. But I think you're right. I think Marina was the last short conference
Okay,
player playing it.
okay.
So, yeah.
I know they always have to, nominated. I don't know how that works, but
I think there were 50 names on the list. I don't know if they pare it down to 15 or 20
mhm.
by the end. But I mean, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. There should be 2 or 3 girls from short conference in that game if
Yeah.
no
Politics.
politics are being played.
Yep.
That's what I asked for. So yeah,
Um. So everyone, next week we'll probably go through the South versus Shore matchups down at Rancocas Valley. Um, right now, tentatively, we're going to try to get Dawn on for a little bit next week. Hopefully, our schedule, we can make that work. And enjoy the rest of your vacation.
thanks, Nick. I'm coming back to a snowstorm here Sunday, so not
I
looking forward to that.
the last I saw that we weren't going to get the snow. I don't
Good,
know, but who?
perfect.
Like we were just going to get mist, and yeah, it looks like now it's rain for us
Okay,
because it's going to hit the
good.
40s on Sunday.
All right,
So
that's not bad.
so that's the last update. I think up north more is going to get
Okay,
clobbered, but yeah.
hopefully not Newark because
No, I'm talking like New
yeah.
England. I think the New
Oh,
England.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah. It
okay,
looks like a lot of rain in our area. So
all right, good.
yeah, but it's chilly out there. So enjoy
Not
the
here.
next 48 hours in warm weather.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
so Doug, thank you for joining me from. We got to maybe do more of these remote. Maybe I'll go away.
Yeah, let's get somebody to sponsor us, and we'll do remote
Yeah,
broadcasts all the time.
exactly. So
Yeah.
all right, have a
All
good
right, Nick,
trip,
take care.
safe trip home, and
All right, thank you,
all right.
thank you.